Good afternoon, everyone. It is June the 14th here in Iizuka, Kyushu Institute of Technology for English 7D. It is the week after our midterm test, and generally, I think you guys did a good job on that midterm test. What I can tell you, though, is that your problems in speaking were what I usually see with most of my students. There are usually two things. Usually two problems that you have when you're speaking because you're still learning to speak English. Number one, you're still thinking a little too much about making your English perfect, having good grammar and good vocabulary and all of the things that you're trying to learn in my class. And that's a good thing. You're trying to be correct. But if you're trying to be correct to the point where you're not really looking at people, or you're thinking too much about the English that you're trying to say, you're forgetting the most important point about communication. The most important point about communication is not your grammar. The most important point about communication is not your vocabulary. The most important point about communication is the person you are talking to. This person is the most important thing. Not your grammar, not your TOEIC score. Keep this person the most important thing, and everything will work out well. You think about them, you think about their eyes. Oh, can they hear me? Maybe I should speak a little bit more loudly. Oh, my English is bad. Maybe I should use gestures. This person, your partner, your group partners, that's the most important thing. Can you close the door? That's the most important thing in a class. Actually, I keep forgetting. The automatic system turns off the air conditioner at the end of every class here. Now, if you can keep the people that you're talking to as number one, everything will become easy. You'll remember to have a good voice, look in people's eyes, and most importantly, a smile. I know this is really hard, but even if you have to fake it, that's okay. You have to start from somewhere, and confidence. A lot of your students will just say, "Jushin totte, jushin motte." That's too easy. Okay? I'll tell you the truth. If you don't have confidence, I understand, because when I was first speaking Japanese, I didn't have confidence. So what do? You pretend, you act. Engi demo ii. But smile, eyes, okay? Bring up your voice. Also too, don't touch your face. Don't touch your hair. Don't start playing with your hair. Don't start doing this or start rubbing the back of your head. Don't touch your face. Keep your head level and at your partners. There's one more thing that I noticed with a lot of you, and it was that if you're still thinking about what is important in English, think only about this: the subject, the verb, the object. If you can keep your grammar simple, you can say many things. Instead of saying something like, well, I had to meet my sister at the train station because she was going to be late, so I had to pick her up in my car. Say that in very short sentences. I went to the train station. I met my sister. I drove my car. She was late. I needed my car. I drove her to her class. Lots of information, short information, a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time to make sure that everything is easy grammar on top of other sentences. Do not try to make one long sentence. It's too difficult. Maybe you can, okay. But if you cannot, short sentence, short sentence, short sentence, short sentence, that's much better, much easier. I suggest you try that. So just to point out to you, your biggest problems were, just one more. Your biggest problems were, actually, yes. Your biggest problems were, okay, just looking at your partner and having confidence, try to use gestures, and try to think about making sure that you use your subject, your verb, and your object. Okay. Oops. All righty. So let's go here to Safari. Tonight, or this week, your assignments are your listening quiz number 3. And as always, the listening quiz means that you can take this up to 3 times, 20 minutes, and it will close on June 20th. And you have one more reflection, which is due tonight at 11 p.m. Okay. If you have any questions, you can always contact me at jdmcruz@gmail.com, or you can come and talk to me after class. Otherwise, let's have a good class, everyone.